Hello, everybody. This is José Ignacio from the Uncomfortable Dialogues 2022. Thank you very much for joining us today. We value your participation and feedback. For today's dialogue, we have a phenomenal business leader. His name is Alfonso Luna. He's indeed a pioneer of applied technology in Latin America. He was the Microsoft Andean Regional Director in Caracas. He was also the Marketing Director of Latin America Google. He's also the co-founder and member of the Academic Council Mexico City, or Instituto Superior para el Desarrollo del Internet, and he's currently the co-founder and CEO of Kentriki. Without any further ado, welcome to this conversation, Alfonso. How are you doing today?
Very good. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure to talk to you again. Hey, Alfonso, every time I think about yourself, I think that you have been a pioneer about transformation. And actually, you teach in the university's digital transformation. But along with this digital transformation, I believe that you have reshaped your leadership style.
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, there's many factors around the need to modify my leadership styles, especially because now I work with the following generation, the millennials. That has been the first factor. Had to rethink the way I lead and I manage. So, and the second is the accelerating pace of technology. I mean, the need to be up to date and to rapidly adjust it's just has been fundamental. And that was not necessarily true, I don't know, 15 years ago.
But the thing that is interesting is how do you cope with volatility? So how do you cope with the constant pace of change?
Business wise, what we've been doing is adopting agile methodologies. That was the first one, like business agility, and the other was obviously trying to collect customer feedback in real time and react as fast as possible. Uh, Personally, what I try to do is I read a lot and try to look for those leaders that have published books or ideas around becoming more agile, how to stay up to date, how to stay competitive, and that's basically the way I'm coping. And then you have this big catalyst called the pandemic.
Yeah.
So and if you were not forced enough to react with the pandemic, most of us were, like it was imperative,
Out of
not.
business. Yes,
Mhm.
that's true. Hey, Alfonso, another question, and this question is going to make your life a little bit more uncomfortable. Can you share us some of the things that you wish that you did that shouldn't be done? So,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the first one is retention of talent. In this time, for example, in Mexico and in my sector, which is technology, replacing personnel has been a big challenge.
mm,
Uh, Starting from people not showing for interviews. There's huge competition as my segment is which is e-commerce. It's exploding. I mean, the competition for talent has been enormous. So that was one. The other is I drank the Kool-Aid of e-commerce is exploding. The windfall is gonna bring business on its own. And actually we have had to make several adjustments in our business model during the pandemic due to government regulations in Mexico, due to competition, because as you know, e-commerce is very sensitive to volume, uh, to negotiate prices with shipping vendors, with payment processors, so on and so forth. So we started, and I should have done it earlier. It took me like a few months to, adjust and adapt.
Alfonso, another question, and going back to the education front.
Mhm.
So I know that you have been a truly pioneer in technology. And now you are teaching your students more on the practical level. So you are not necessarily a theorist. You are a practical guy who really showed them how to use technology to support their business practice. But if I happen to be one of your students, what would I say about Alfonso in terms of Alfonso's legacy to my own education? What would that be?
Do a lot of pro bono work in teaching. In actually, there's a big program in Mexico where we're gonna have around 500 small uh, businesses and professionals who want to, you know, become digital professionals. And as you know, I obviously still connected to Venezuela, and as you know, I support an organization which is focused on children in Venezuela. What I bring to the table is basically what I know. So I designed for them a digital strategy, a new website, a way to collect, to receive donations through that website, a digital marketing campaign, so on and so forth. That's something that we launched a month ago,
Oh,
actually.
this is really excellent and very novel. And actually, if we were to connect the dots between, you were talking about the millennials and this non-profit mindset really gets so far more energy because today the millennials are meant to be far more socially responsible.
That is correct. And again, for example, one of the things we did with my company Cantricky a few months ago was to publish our code of ethics. It's not mission values and mission vision values, which is what normally
The old-fashioned.
companies publish. No, we publish our stance and our actions regards sexual harassment, regards the environment, regards equal opportunities, discrimination, so on and so forth.
No, hey, Alfonso, as always, it's really a pleasure to talk to you because you always bring new ideas and terrific insights. Unfortunately, we don't have too much time to go. So I wonder if you want to share your final thoughts about this dialogue with the audience.
No, I mean, it's just, giving you a big applause for doing this. I think the hundreds of thought leaders that you're interviewing uh, are going to bring very good ideas to the table and are going to allow us all, including obviously myself, to be more nimble, more adaptable, more, fit to work in this new environment.
Yeah.
That is very challenging, by the way.
Alfonso, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. I know that you need to go back to business, but anyway, thank you. And for those who are watching this dialogue, so if you have any questions to Alfonso or to myself, just drop a note here in LinkedIn and YouTube and we'll get back to you. That's a promise.
Thank you very much. Un abrazo.